Do you care if someone's black?
Oh, I don't care at all. I have no type at all.
Oh, she said no. Sorry.
What? I'm saying I have no type.
That's what I told him.
This is like some pretty complex shit that he's doing right now.
Hi, I'm Zack Justice, and I'm just kind of looking for a woman who doesn't do what my mom did and get 2 divorces and ruin a family. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like there's no reason I should go to bed without a dad every single night. And then to do it twice just made no sense.
So right off the bat, what I'm noticing about Zack is he seems like the type of person from the last videos that I've analyzed about him, where he's very jokey, but at the same time, he seems like he puts up a front. And he uses, weirdly enough, his vulnerability as that front. I still don't completely get it right yet. This is why I wanted to look into him, because he is an interesting character. He's an interesting personality. And I just want to see if there's anything that I can extract and learn from him and then teach back to you.
This is a stable home.
Relatable.
It's okay.
That guy said relatable. So what it seems Zack tends to do is he gets vulnerable as a way to be relatable to anybody that he's talking to. This is like #1 basic social skill that you should be learning if you're going to interact with anybody and if you want to build a relationship with somebody. Now, a lot of the alpha male channels give you advice on how to do the exact opposite. Not be vulnerable, unemotional, show all of your strengths, none of your weaknesses, none of your insecurities, none of your anxieties. This contributes to that old form of dating. It's almost like a competition. 2 people are trying to show their best selves, and it's almost like, who could be better? And then if I'm better, I have the upper hand in the relationship, and I therefore have attracted you. That's not how dating works. And if it does work like that for you, it just works very stressfully for you. It's not going to be an enjoyable ride. Every time you date, it's going to feel like you're putting on a war with somebody. You're going into battle. The easy way to date is to be as vulnerable as possible, because what you're doing is you're taking all your clothes off. You're showing everyone all of your scars. And what that also does is it makes the other person feel comfortable to show their scars too and get naked with you. And when 2 people are naked with each other, we're both comfortable with it, that is when 2 people can then make a stronger connection with each other. This is something that I have a feeling Zack uses a lot, but at the same time, I'm wondering about that character facade that he does. I want to study it a little more.
What's the worst date you've been on?
Okay, this is how it happened. The night ended in a threesome. I'm just gonna say that. What? So I go on a date with this girl.
So off the bat, it seems like Zack is a good storyteller. The way that he sets this up, he first of all gets excited. He goes, all right. And then he goes, it ends in a threesome. So right now he has your curiosity piqued. How does it end in a threesome? If he started off the story without saying that and just going into what's happening, it would start losing people's attention. You would start kind of thinking about other stuff, wish you were looking at your phone, but right now you're thinking, how does he get to the threesome? So I'm going to be listening to every word. He seems to have this connection to what people want when he expresses himself.
Like this heaviness on my chest, I'm like, what is going on? Like, am I having a heart attack right now? I don't know. And then I hear a moan. And it turns out that my roommate was having sex with the same girl I had drinks with earlier that day on top of me.
Wait, your roommate was having sex?
They were having sex on top of me while I was under sheets on the couch in our front room.
What?
Swearsies. I roll them off, butt naked people go flying, and
These are little things, but I love the little things in interactions. Notice how he's talking about a pretty weird, deviant sexual story, and then he throws in swearsies as a counter. This is the balance between a charming person. Now, I'm not saying Zack is charming, but I'm just pointing out little things. Throwing something in that balances you out and makes you a little more relatable again, a little more playful again, by saying something like swearsies in the middle of this really weird story, lightens the mood. He knows this. I'm pretty sure that Zack knows how to balance things out in interactions and relationships like this to keep everything fun and light. But let's keep going.
my roommate has the audacity to say, dude, why are you cock blocking me? So that was my first threesome. But
Oh my God. Okay.
So another thing that I'm noticing is you can't really tell if that story's real or not because it sounds a little crazy. What comedians tend to do is they do stuff like this, where they bring a joke so far to the edge of believability, but still believable. And that is what makes a person laugh. Because when you bring something to the edge of, wait a second, is this real? And then acting like it is real, that creates a tension inside of a person. What I noticed Zack do from other videos is he kind of keeps people on the hook at all times, wanting to figure him out. Is he telling the truth? Is he lying? Where is the truth and where is the lie with this guy? Where is it just joking? Where is his real side? And I think that is what is so alluring about Zack Justice. Now, with humor, you could do this with anybody that you talk to, and you don't have to take it as far as Zack, where you never give away if this is true or if it's not true. And it's literally just by joking. This is what joking is. You literally just make up something that's not true, bring it to that line of believability where the person is not going to be sure whether it's true or not true. And when they go, wait, are you serious? You go, no, I'm just joking. And if you do that repeatedly through an interaction, that just builds the humor, that just builds the fun, that just builds the excitement in a conversation. And it just makes you a funny person. So do that. It's very easy to do. And it's the absolute basics of humor.
Did you join in afterwards?
No. Have you ever heard of the term trauma?
Yes.
I'm dumping it on you right now.
Yeah.
See, that joke didn't really land that well. I don't think she got it. It wasn't that funny. And I think he wants to play that character of, I'm this hurt baby and I use humor as therapy. It doesn't land all the time. I think it's because he wanted that to be funny. Like, I think he really thought that was going to be the punchline that made her laugh, and it didn't. And I think that's because he was trying.
All right.
Number two, want to know if you're into black guys.
Huh?
Do you care if someone's
Oh,
black?
I don't care at all. I have no type at all.
Oh, she said no. Sorry.
What? I'm saying I have no type.
That's what I told him.
This is like some pretty complex shit that he's doing right now. It's a lot of the basics of what we talked about earlier, which is basically just lie. That's all it is. Most of joking around is just lying and then taking it back. But Zack is not the type of guy that takes back a lot of his jokes. This, I actually think, is ultimately going to be his downfall in dating and relationships. If Zack does this in his real life, like, I get it that this is a YouTube video, so he's like really upping the comedy here, but if he carries this personality into real life, which I've heard rumors that he does, it's not going to go well for him, because if you never come down and get real, you're never going to actually be relatable to somebody, and you're not going to actually fulfill that attraction with the other person. You're just going to keep them intrigued, and then they're never going to get anywhere. So they're going to actually eventually get bored and move on. However, let's look at what he just did right now. He's thinking of funny situations, right? So he just thought that would be funny if I told her that this guy wanted to know if you're into black guys, right? So first of all, that was the first lie. She says, I don't have a type. What he did then is he used misinterpretation to build on top of the humor and build even more tension than before. So then he goes to him, she said no, which he knew she was going to then respond to, and they'll go say, no, I didn't say no. This immediately gets both people's emotional state lifted right now, because she feels like she's been misrepresented. He feels like he's been misrepresented. And now a lot of the attention is on to Zack, because he created that emotional mess. And at the same time, they both know that he's joking. They both know that he didn't really misinterpret that. They both know that that guy didn't really wonder if she's into black guys. So what Zack is doing is he's playing with the social knobs of what's going on right now, and he's using it to his benefit, because all of the attention is going on to him. This is getting into some complex stuff. He's very, very sharp, but I really do think his downfall in dating is going to be the fact that he never actually gets vulnerable with the person, because you have to eventually release all of that tension with that person. That's what feels good at the end. If you don't release the tension, somebody's going to get bored. But we'll talk about that later.
You said no.
Yes, you said no.
I'm very confused.
It's okay.
He's
All
very.
right.
There's a language barrier.
Continuing on, contestant number
figure it out.
3.
Okay,
Worst date.
I got dinner, you know, and it was just...
Already right now, and I'm feeling it too, even though this third guy is talking, I want to see what Zack Justice says next. It feels now like he's the ringleader of this show right now. It feels like he's controlling it. He's pulling the strings. And I want to see what he says next. So I don't even care about this guy anymore. And that is the power of Zack Justice, what he's doing here. Really interesting.
I felt like I was pulling teeth and I was a f***ing dentist. Why are you laughing?
Like a dentist.
All right, whatever, that day. It was like no words were spoken. She ends up leaving before.
Something else I notice about Zack is he's not laughing right now. We could say that like that's part of his character that he's playing, but I'm gonna say that's his authentic side. That's him not laughing if he doesn't think something is funny. Personally, I don't think any of these jabronis are funny. I wouldn't be laughing at anything they're saying. I think they're cheesy as hell, and I think they're all trying to build their camaraderie and make friends superficially by laughing at things that they don't think are actually funny. Or maybe they do actually think each other is funny, which makes me be like, ugh, you guys have low-level comedy. So that also grounds Zack as kind of the ringleader of this situation right here, because he is now the person that gives true approval to what he deems as truly interesting and what he deems as truly funny.
We're midway through like hooking up, and all of a sudden this guy starts pushing from under the covers. It's contestant number 1. Apparently I'd been fucking on top of my roommate, who is contestant number 1, and I was like, dude.
He didn't finish while I was under there. He didn't come close.
The plot thickens.
Anyway, that's my worst date ever. What about you? What's yours?
What has been my worst date? I don't even know, honestly. Oh, wait, I do.
Contestant number 2 here, we don't care.
So
What that guy's trying to do right there is to try to like piggyback off of Zack's sense of humor, taking control of what's going on in the situation, but it's just not as funny. You could tell that he's trying too hard, and anytime you're trying when you're in an interaction, whether you're not trying to be funny, you're just trying to be normal and just talk about maybe serious stuff, you're always going to come off bad, because trying is needy, and the opposite of needy is being detached, which is why I teach detachment dating. I teach you how to not be in that trying headspace where you really, really hope that that person likes you back, and every word that you say, everything that you do is trying to get that person to like you back. If you notice, for the most part, when Zack speaks, he is not trying to get that girl to like him. I noticed that one line that he said earlier was something trying, and you can tell she was just like weirded out by it because he wanted her to laugh when she didn't earlier. If he just kept quiet and didn't say anything, it would have been a lot better for him. But listen, everybody has a little bit of neediness in them. It's about how you can minimize it as well as possible, and that's what I teach in the 6 rules of detachment dating.
when he invited me out, I looked up the bar thing, and we were going on the earlier side.
The bar? Where'd you go?
We went to like, we went to this like restaurant bar, and I thought like, okay, we're eating dinner
that's
there.
what I was messed up. It was a restaurant bar.
Yeah, yeah. What's happening? All right,
We're having
anyways.
sex with each other. Sorry.
Okay, anyways.
So what Zack's doing right here is he's building tension by misbehaving, not doing what he's supposed to, showing like a fake disinterest. This would come off unattractive and not charming, but what he managed to do is still respond to her story while he's playing patty cake. This balances it out again. So he still shows interest, and it just made her confused, like what the hell's going on back there, which is what made it funny. If he just ignored her and didn't react and didn't respond at all, or just showed zero interest or negative interest in her by saying something like, stop talking, we don't like it, that would not be funny. That would not cause that tension and attraction in her. It's the fact that he's doing something disinterested while still responding with interest. Again, building that tension while having these clashing ideas going on is what causes the tension and what causes that interest and intrigue in her. He has that sixth sense about it. If he just showed disinterest, that would turn her off. It would make her just be like, this guy's rude. But the fact that he responds, the fact that he still actively engages with her in a positive way is what causes that intrigue.
With his coworkers.
She's still talking.
And they're all, yeah. And and I was taking shots on the empty stomach.
So what he wanted to do is the child version of what Zack's doing because he doesn't get it. So he goes, she's still talking. He was like, oh, Zack was showing disinterest. Let me show disinterest to be funny too. Again, that's not going to be attractive to her because that's just straight up disinterest. That's not charming whatsoever. You need the balance here. This is a great counter between somebody that actually understands comedy and somebody that tries to be funny but has no idea what he's doing, which is most of these guys actually.
Contestant number 2. We all just want to say, contestant number 2.
That was not me.
Hey, this is number 6. Just know I'm listening the whole way. Don't worry.
Okay.
If you are listening, then
See, this is making it not even fun for her now because she's just like, nobody's taking this seriously. You need a balance. If you're just going to jerk off the whole time with your boys, that's not fun whatsoever. That's not going to build the intrigue. So if you notice, I think Zack is going to pull away from what these guys are doing. He's not going to include himself in their jokes unless he creates the joke himself.
My favorite is number 1. My least favorite, 3.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That adds up over here, by the way. Do you want to know what my body count is today or all time?
Ugh. See, he's trying to be funny and it's just coming off so cringe.
That does not count. There needs to be another human involved.
Okay.
So she thinks you're just fucking a pillow or something with your sweats on and still coming. She doesn't like your voice.
I don't do that, by the way.
These guys are so cringe. Ugh. And you could tell that they're trying to be as funny as possible in each turn that they have.
I genuinely would rather have a conversation with someone than like hook up or like a really good conversation. If the conversation is bad, let's hook up. But but you know, just learning. Just learning everything you can about that person, and like my dream is to find the perfect human to have a partnership with, where it's like, yeah, I know eventually the looks will fade, but if I love them in every other arena of life, and going to the grocery store is better because they're there. I mean, that is better to me than money, than anything you can think of. Just like having someone that gets you inside out, which is definitely tough to find.
I believe him too. I could see that he's actually speaking, expressing himself authentically right here. And I see that about him. People that tend to joke a lot about sex, in my experience, are people that are not that interested in sex, have a lot of sex, and it's kind of something where they compensate for that. Now, I'm not saying that he's shy about sex or anything like that. I genuinely think he's that type of person where he really does care more about the intellectual conversation that he can have with somebody and just getting really deep and connecting on that deeper level rather than just superficial stuff. Now, this shows me a deeper level of Zack and tells me that his really deviant sexual sense of humor is kind of him playing a bit of a character in a fun way to show people that it's like, this is actually what I am making fun of. This is actually not who I am. I'm kind of putting down, I'm kind of bullying guys that are like that by playing a character that seems to be so shallow and so interested in just hooking up and having sex and just not giving a fuck about anything else about a person. This to me is kind of pulling back that layer about him, and I'm pretty sure that he doesn't really get that vulnerable, so it's good to see him do that there.
I don't really tell the person, but whoever, maybe I'm talking to somebody or dating, I keep a little notes tab, and like these are all their favorite things, and when they go to a restaurant, this is what they order, this is their little like clips about them,
places they frequent, you know.
This is what they frequent.
This is what time they go to bed.
Yeah, I'm noticing that about him. I could tell that he is the type of person that likes to do favors for people. He likes giving things to people that he cares about. Tara said that in the video that I reacted to about them. I noticed that she mentioned that he is a really sweet person. He's very thoughtful. And so I see that about him.
Do you get labeled as a psychopath sometimes?
Yeah. I don't know why. I think I'm not. I'm just bad at it. A lot of people think I'm emotionless. I'm expressionless. I've got the emotions.
Yeah.
He's a sociopath.
I think that's a really big point, and there are a lot of people like that they don't need to express a lot on their face, but they feel the emotions on the inside. That is very normal. Like half of the world is like that. They're called introverts. And he is an introvert in that way, where he does not express himself really big. And I think that's another reason why he uses that kind of deadpan humor, is because I think it just caters to his personality really well. He's able to be deadpan because he doesn't have that compulsion to express so much on the outside. There are a lot of people that just go, I don't need to do this. Like, what is the reason to be so emotional? What is the reason to express all that emotion? It's just not necessary. I could just kind of keep it here. That's introverts, guys. A lot of introverts are like that. Not all introverts, but a lot of them are like that, depending on your personality type. All right, I'm going to stop it there. I think we reached a good break point, right? Where if enough people really like this video and they go, oh, Anthony's on to something, he's really talking about something that we didn't really know about him yet, like this video. I want to see how many views this video gets. I want to see how many likes I get, how many comments I get, and I want to see if there's enough interest for a second Zack Justice Rizz review. If you feel that way, if you want a second Rizz review on Zack Justice, and for me to react to more of these videos that I was going to go into, but listen, we've already done enough today, go into my Discord and suggest it to me. I do think there's a lot more that I could learn about Zack, and I feel like I just touched the surface here. So I would love to make a follow-up, but it is up to you guys, my community. If you want my 6 rules of detachment dating, get it in the link in the description or the QR code below. It will change your life, I promise you. If you feel like you usually are the type of person that gets attached very easily, like we all do, if you feel like you get needy very easily, if you're always wondering if that person, why they didn't text back, when they're going to text back, what did that text mean, all of that type of stuff, you are a needy person. Detachment dating will help you. This $27 discount is not going to be here for much longer. The price is going to go up very soon. So I want to thank you for everybody that's been buying the half off price. It shows me that you guys really love what I'm putting out, and I'll see you in the next video.